Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, July 15th, 2016, there was the coup in Turkey. I put out a number of videos exposing how that was a staged event by the New World Order for part of the ongoing worldwide agenda that is leading us to a greater war, what will likely be called World War III. We could still be years away from that war, but the events are unfolding day by day. This was one of them. If you have not seen the videos I put out yesterday, please check that out. This video is a follow-up to what I exposed yesterday. I showed how the New World Order, which is a Masonic Zionist world order, is executing their plans according to the book of prophecy, the book of Revelation. Today's story about the coup leader possibly being in Pennsylvania of the United States follows exactly what I was saying yesterday. I was pointing out how Turkey's major ally is the United States in the war against ISIS. I was saying the date July 15th, 15/7 is a lot like 157 in Gematria. United States equals 157. Check this out from today's CNN article. Let's just read the article and then we'll decode it together. Here's how they title it. Who is Fethullah Gulen, the man blamed for coup attempt in Turkey? Was a plan to overthrow Turkey's government really hatched behind a gated compound in a small leafy Pennsylvania town, or is that merely a smokescreen? In the throes of a military coup attempt, Turkey's embattled president Recep Tayyip Erdogan pointed the finger of blame squarely at his bitter rival Fethullah Gulen. At the center of this rivalry, a fundamental division in Turkish society between secularists, some within the country's top military brass, and Islamists, including Erdogan's AKP party. It's this division that's destabilizing one of America's most important allies in the Middle East. Again, Turkey has a massive military. They're the biggest ally, supposedly, in the war against ISIS. And remember, ISIS is this boogeyman created by this New World Order as part of the agenda. And at the center of all of this is Gulen, a reclusive cleric who leads a popular movement called Hizmet. So this man's name that they bring up, in Gematria, his name is exactly identical to Pennsylvania, where they say he is. And remember, Pennsylvania is the Keystone State. It's home of the original capital of the United States, Philadelphia, where so much of this nation was set up, established. Pennsylvania is also the home of Philadelphia, again, the original capital, which is named from the book of Revelation, the book of prophecy. And with regards to revelation and prophecy, I'll show you what's interesting in just a moment. I just want to point out that in Gematria, the small way, the name of this man is 62. Pennsylvania also has Gematria of 62. So does Mason. That is the current age of the president of Turkey. 62 years old. Continuing the article, who is this mysterious man in Pennsylvania? We'll get to the Revelation connection in a moment. The 75-year-old imam went into self-imposed exile when he moved from Turkey to the United States in 1999 and settled in Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania. That town is key. He rarely speaks to journalists and has turned down interview requests from CNN for more than 4 years. Supporters describe Gulen as a moderate Muslim cleric who champions interfaith dialogue. Promotional videos show him meeting with Pope John Paul II in the Vatican in the 1990s. Pope John Paul II replaced Pope John Paul I, who was murdered on his 33rd day of being Pope, killed on a date with 44 numerology, the kill number. Just a little side note there. He also met frequently with rabbis and Christian priests in Turkey. Talk about New World Order, right? The Vatican, the Zionists, the Freemasons in high places. This is what the New World Order is. Gulen has a loyal following known as Gulenists in Turkey who also subscribe to the Hizmet movement. So, Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania, and Pythagorean Gematria sums to the same thing as Key of David. The Key of David is mentioned in the same verse as the letter written to the Church of Philadelphia in the book of Revelation, the book of prophecy. The Key of David is this important component in bringing about prophecy. And the madmen who are ruling over us, these banker tyrants who create these needless wars, they do it all according to this code. The entire United States is established around this Revelation code, which is what my book reveals that will be out soon. Saylorsburg in simple English gematria alone sums to 157. Yesterday was the outbreak, supposedly, of the coup, the 15th day of the 7th month, 15/7, July 15th. Saylorsburg, the small way, also sums to 49, just like Revelation. You see how they code these stories? I'm saying the same thing every single day. The news is scripted by the numbers. It's planned way out in advance. As they unleash the details of these stories, they're always synced up with the event. My entire book, from the beginning of the nation's history up to the present, exposes this so thoroughly. United States of America also has gematria of 102. So does the word slavery. The Civil War began on the 102nd day of the year. Lincoln died on a date with 102 numerology. This number huge in September 11th, 2001. The attack supposedly lasted 102 minutes. Al-Qaeda equals 102. So does the phrase FU. And that's what it is from the New World Order always to us. It's always a big FU, a big mocking, all part of their sick, ongoing agenda. They said he was 75 years old. New World Order equals 75 the small way. New World Order the big way equals 174. If you didn't see my video on the signing of the TPP, the New World Order trade agreement earlier this year, that was signed on the 174th meridian, 17 weeks, 4 days after they finalized the deal. These numbers are real. They are symbolic. They are used by this gang again and again. So anyway, just wanted to do a short video. Let's also watch the news footage. Let me get myself out of here. Bring up the news footage. Listen to this. You can just hear how contrived it is. You don't even need the numbers. If you just watch with your eyes and listen with your ears, you can just see how made up and fictitious this is.
Who's behind it? Erdogan said in this news conference, "Now I turn to you in Pennsylvania," presumably speaking to Fethullah Gulen. Who is this Muslim cleric? And give us a little background here. Potentially, is he the person behind this attempted coup?
Fethullah Gulen is a respected Islamic theologian. He now lives in Pennsylvania, of all places, and he commanded a large following in Turkey. Indeed, that following once lent their support to Mr. Erdogan. And so he was once an ally of this particular government. His followers got into government, got into positions of power and authority, the police, the judiciary, the military, and many accused them of being sort of sleepers, of having their own agenda and of being there for their own purposes. Well, at a certain point, he and Mr. Erdogan fell out. His followers accused Mr. Erdogan of really gross corruption, and there was a huge amount of scandals and tapes released. And of course, Mr. Erdogan described that as a coup attempt against himself, the fact that all these revelations should be coming out. And ever since then, Fethullah Gulen and his followers have really been blamed for anything that goes wrong in Turkey. To my mind, it's not really credible that a cleric who's not terribly well living in Pennsylvania could have organized a major coup attempt thousands of miles away on the other side of the ocean.
That guy didn't even seem so sure about the news he had to deliver. And that's because it's all a joke by the numbers. And this is CNN's front page story all night. I'll link my videos down in the description from yesterday. Did a lot of important work on Turkey, talked all about Revelation, prophecy. The president's name sums to 66. Revelation's the 66th book of the Bible. His name also sums to 666. The number 666, made infamous in Revelation of the Bible. The word prophecy in Jewish gematria equals 666. One more shining example of the scripted world of news and events by the Masons, the Zionists, the Jesuits at the top. Until next time, truth seekers.